Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, welcome into the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor here for Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We're so glad you're able to join us and hope that you stay dry today, because I know that it has been a busy day for some of us, and some of us is the key word there. What we're tracking here at the Room to Room Weather Center is going to be those drier conditions heading overnight and into that extended forecast. Of course, bear with me behind the scenes here real quick. I'm going to make sure this is all getting done here behind the scenes, so I apologize for this. Seems like I forgot to put it in play, so. Okay, hang on 1 second. There we go. Sweet. Okay. So what we're tracking here at the Room to Room Weather Center is going to be those drier conditions that persist heading into that overnight forecast. And of course, more rain chances as we head overnight and into our Wednesday afternoon. Again, those rain chances returning for Wednesday. And then of course, temperatures on the climb. We're talking about the 90s, making a comeback in that summer surge back in our forecast, unfortunately, but also fortunately. I know folks like that warmer air. So it is definitely going to be a fun forecast going forward. So what I also want to show off, and this is something that just wrapped up. Did you submit your vote? Well, if not, I'm sorry, we have officially run out of time. This is a look at the final from our poll of where we are headed for our Friday night football forecast here at Mississippi Live Weather. It is time for you to decide it. And yes, this is closed as of right now. Let me do one final refresh to make sure that we have all of those numbers finalized and solid. Sorry, I got to scroll down here. Let me get there real quick. But yes, this has been something that we are excited about. We've been tracking, and you can see 40% said Smithville at Hatley tried to make a comeback at the end, but unfortunately could not catch the Skunk Bowl. Boonville at Baldwin is where we will be this Friday night. So if you are excited, well, you're exactly like us, because we are so pumped to be there Friday night. This will be my first Friday night out in the field here for Mississippi Live Weather. And so Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon and I going to be there enjoying some great football, a great rivalry, and as I mentioned at 6, some great concession stand food. Yes, that's what I'm excited about. So definitely something to look forward to, but we are so excited to be there. You guys need to stay tuned as we head through the rest of this week for our cheer of the week and our band of the week. There is still an opportunity to submit those votes, and I know Baldwin and Boonville folks are very proud of their teams and ready to submit those votes for the victor. So lots to track here at 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get into the forecast of what we can expect heading into that Friday night football forecast. Limited chances of rainfall still lingering, but a lot of that moisture actually transitioning to some of this patchy fog coverage for our overnight hours and into our early morning. That's going to linger there until that sunrise happens and burns up a good bit of that fog. And then we're going to be sitting in the mid 60s with temperatures climbing with that large amount of sunshine. So it is going to be a busy morning, but not busy when it comes to rain chances. It's going to be busy when it comes to that fog coverage. This is a live look in Macon. And if you were questioning me about the foggy conditions, well, all you need to do is take a look at this camera. You can barely see out and about. You can see some of the hue of that light, but definitely going to be not a humid forecast, but a foggy forecast going forward. Here in Clarksdale, some clearer conditions. A large part of that is the fact you have winds coming out of the southeast about 5 miles an hour right now. So that helps clear up some of that moisture that's lingering there on the surface. So hopefully can continue to do so, because we don't want that foggy morning commute. Over there in Rolling Fork, clear conditions as well, 76 degrees. So temperatures cooling off nicely, but definitely that moisture that's still lingering in the air, helping to assist with some of that fog coverage. So as we take a look right now, we're in clear air mode, meaning that there's not anything to be tracking on our Mississippi Live Weather radar, even the last hour or so, showcasing some of those drier conditions. But as I take it back about 3 hours, you can see what was left of that moisture trying to pass through Greenwood and Chula, reaching I-55, but overall I mean, hardly anything was left. So that's the extent of where we sit at, was a drier forecast in those overnight hours. Some of those isolated chances going to be moving through the eastern Arkansas area overnight, and that could result in some isolated showers for our morning commute tomorrow morning. Our rainfall totals over the past 12 hours, honestly, I should take these over the last 24, but this will help get a good idea of what we've been experiencing, because the afternoon is where we saw the heaviest outputs of rainfall. 3.1 inches there in Greenwood, 3.7 inches there towards Starkville as that flash flood warning was in effect, and then 2.5 inches over towards Louisville. And both of these in Oktibbeha County and Winston County were over a very short time frame, so that's why we said it was a busy afternoon. If you were over here in Oxford, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but hopefully come tomorrow, you might have an idea with some of those raindrops possible over there in Lafayette County and Panola County. Some of our drier areas today, as that scattered coverage did not reach everybody. As we look at the extended outlook, I mean, you can really get a good idea of what that atmospheric analysis is looking like. This trough, this is one of our trough boundaries right here. That was a big driver in our forecast. Some of that unstable air that was producing some of those light showers and even some of those scattered thunderstorms as well. That's where we saw that development take place. But overnight, all of that dissipating out, and our best rain chances honestly around that stationary front in the Gulf. So here in North Mississippi, a drier forecast overnight, but that moisture still making an impact, as that moisture could be producing some of that patchy fog like I mentioned. High pressure still lingering out there towards the Carolinas, but as long as that trough is right there, at least lingering some chances for a little bit of those showers and thunderstorms into our Wednesday. Currently, a lot of those going to be developing there towards Arkansas and Louisiana, but as we head further into our mid to late morning on our Wednesday, that's where some of those showers do transition there towards North Mississippi, and that's where we're going to be watching for some of our coverage there towards tomorrow morning. That's going to be at 6:30, 7, and 10 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, giving us everything we need to know as we head out the door and where these showers are taking place. By the lunch hour, still very light and isolated there along the Mississippi River here on the northeast side of the state, staying on the drier side of the forecast. So our chances will come, but it will come more towards the mid to late afternoon rather than it being that morning commute. I mean, look at how things are getting more widespread there by 3 o'clock on our Wednesday. Those just really start to extend further and further into North Mississippi throughout the latter part of our Wednesday. So the next 24, patchy fog for our morning commute, but then we transition to showers for our afternoon commute. So basically, kids, you're going to school tomorrow morning with a completely different forecast than what you'll be getting there towards the afternoon as those showers pick up. 3 p.m., the most intense or widespread coverage, and only around 30%. So the majority of us honestly staying on the drier side, but that's our best chance to get at least a few of those drops. 6 p.m., 20%, and even by 9 o'clock, we're watching some isolated chances of those showers and storms lingering in the forecast. And I will say, if you don't get it Wednesday, chances just go down from there, especially heading into the weekend. So fingers crossed we get those drops over there. I'm rooting for Panola and Lafayette County because everyone deserves at least a drop of rainfall. But that's one of the things we'll be tracking here in the next 60 is just how high that likelihood is that we see those drops over there. And even the extended outlook, we are talking about some inclement weather possible just on the outskirts of North Mississippi. So you'll want to stay tuned for where to expect that and what to expect. We'll be tracking that here live on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 coming up in the next 60.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Well, we're going to start with our weather watchers, again, popping off out in the field, always submitting the best pictures. This one from Kimberly and Alcorn County submitting, oh, my wife would know the phase of the moon this is. I don't know if it's a waning gibbous or a waxing gibbous. I believe it's one of those two. So weather watchers in the chat that are watching right now, please let me know, because I know it's not a full, I know it's not a half, I know it's not a crescent. So let me know what it is, because I'm very curious. I should have looked at that right before this. I should have done better. I apologize. I'll know them from here on out. But still a great shot of that night sky. You notice where it is in Alcorn County. So you're actually getting some visibility the further north you go, because it wasn't exactly a rainy forecast. So that moisture not in the air, and it's not producing that patchy fog. So for folks in Alcorn County, commute looks good to go. But down south, a little bit of a different story. And Kayla, down in West Point, you're a part of that because that moisture was definitely there. How we know? Well, rainbows are produced because of that rainfall interacting with some of that sunshine. Whenever you get that refracting off some of those water crystals and ice crystals, well, that's where you get some of these rainbows, or this refraction of light right there in the West Point area. So a beautiful picture. Big thank you to our weather watcher, Kayla. Kayla, stay safe on your morning commute, because I do expect at least some patchy fog as we head out and about tomorrow morning. Let's get a good look there in Greenwood, and you do notice some of that fogginess already starting to show off there on the horizon. 72 degrees, and that humidity right around 88%. It's just going to be that low layer of haze, as we did get a good bit of moisture over there as well. Kosciuszko, 68 degrees, humidity at 100%, shows you that moisture impacting our forecast. And as you saw one of the cars drive by, I hope that you have your low beams on, because we need to stay safe whenever we're out and about in the community. Now, Tupelo, that looks to be a little bit of a layer of fog right there on the bottom of your screen. This is, of course, looking east. So this will be on the East Tupelo area. But yeah, fog is going to be the theme for our morning commute, something our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will be walking us through tomorrow morning. So make sure to tune in before you head out and about, so you know what hazards to be dealing with. Because if it's not fog in the morning, it could be showers come the afternoon. Mississippi Live Weather Radar does have that clear air mode in place, meaning that we're not tracking any showers in our overnight forecast. Satellite imagery, the large batch of moisture down there towards Winston and Noxubee County. Those are going to be the foggiest regions, just because there's very little wind, and where very little wind is, and along with some of that moisture, those two things together, not exactly a combination for success. That's how you get some of that patchy fog. Up here on the north side, some areas, when we say patchy fog, it's really going to be amplified up here, because not everyone going to be dealing with that foggy commute. Futurecast into that extended overnight forecast does have that cloud cover and those foggy conditions primarily south of Highway 82. That even sticks around for your morning commute. But watch how we transition that into our morning. You see some of those showers moving into Arkansas. I know you see some up here towards Memphis. I'm not really believing in that as much as I am there towards Arkansas. Those move over the river. That's where we could see some increased rain chances in that extended afternoon forecast. Low temperatures, we had moisture in the air. And whenever we have moisture in the air, that kind of keeps our temperatures pretty uniform throughout the day. So we're not cooling off nearly as much, only going to be mid to upper 60s across the region. So some more mild conditions than what we have been experiencing. But honestly, still in the mid 60s. We'll take it for this time of year. So mid 60s around drop off, 80 degrees towards lunch, and there you see that next hazard. 85 degrees by that final bell, but that 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, one of the things we're watching in that extended forecast. So make sure to pack those umbrellas tomorrow morning as you head out and about. Futurecast, you can definitely see that moisture starts to move back into the forecast. Again, pay attention to the Mississippi River, because that's where those showers will come from. Those primarily moving in by early to mid-afternoon on our Wednesday. You can see Cleveland kind of on the outskirts of that right there. Sorry, you have to deal with this trough kind of blocking us, but this kind of shows our trough axis, which is going to be a large contributor in those rain chances. By 1:30 and 3 o'clock, some of those heavier downpours starting to get more into western Mississippi, and then further pushing into the northern part of Mississippi there by 5 and 6 o'clock. And by, Amory getting a decent downpour, Boonville getting a decent downpour. So just isolated chances of those downpours, but scattered coverage in regards to those rain chances. It's just going to be less folks that are actually getting significant rainfall whenever we look at our Wednesday evening total. So high temperatures with the drier forecast in place. Upper 80s, low 90s. Yes, that is a few degrees warmer than where we sat at today. That summer surge trying to get back in the forecast. So yeah, we're not out of summer just yet. We still have about, I would say 28 days, I think. I have to look at the exact number, but we are counting down. And those heat indices luckily not impacting our forecast too much, so it is not going to be a muggy afternoon. It's just going to be a hot and dry afternoon with some of those rain chances bringing some rain-cooled air. Overnight into our Wednesday evening, we do stay on the drier side. You see those mostly clear conditions there by 10, 11 o'clock. Midnight, seeing clear conditions across the region. This is a beautiful outlook. But then we head into our Thursday morning, and that's where we're watching this cold front that's starting to move into northern Arkansas by the time we get towards that 6, 7, 8 8 o'clock hour and then into that 9 o'clock hour, that starts to get closer and closer to North Mississippi. Now, I've been telling you guys, pay attention to this front because this is going to be a big driver in our forecast as we head into our Thursday afternoon and into our Friday morning. You see how it starts dipping into North Mississippi? Well, this is one of our surface analysis, but the thing is with this front, while it has it pushing it more into North Mississippi, I don't really believe it's getting this deep into North Mississippi because look at the winds. They're not really shifting into that northern shift. And so that's why, it's hard to believe that this front is actually making its way all the way to the ground. If anything, giving us some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms on that northeast corner of our viewing area before it starts to recede out of the area and take away unfortunately, that cold weather with it. So since that is happening and since that cold air is not reaching the surface, high temperatures are actually going to be even higher than where we sat at for Wednesday, Thursday afternoon, coming in with the low 90s and some areas. We are talking mid 90s, Greenwood, Belzona, Greenville. And honestly, with how trends have been happening, I would not be surprised if some of those temperatures are actually warmer than what this projection is showing right here. Again, I will give you some good in this scenario, and that is that it's not going to be overbearing or too muggy or just a point where you can't even walk outside without being hit with unbreathable air. It is still going to be a bearable forecast and you will still be comfortable despite it being those hot conditions. Friday, 94, that frontal boundary finally clears our area overnight and heading into our Saturday. There you see 86 degrees for our high temperatures, 85 by Sunday, 86 Monday, 85 Tuesday, so a flip-flop pattern there, but luckily a flip-flop pattern between 85 and 86, not 94 and 86. So once we reach those mid-90s, we are not going to see anything too major beyond that point, or at least not over the next 7 days or so. Your severe weather risk. I did mention that there was a chance at inclement weather. That is going to be for Alcorn, Prentiss, and Tishomingo County. That level 1 risk that is in place, that's for some damaging winds expected and some heavy downpours as well with some of those isolated sections that do develop along that frontal boundary. But you might notice this is connected to a much larger level 1 risk. As I take that up the East Coast, you can really get an idea of where that is taking place. I mean, you can see that all the way up there towards Virginia, Pennsylvania, going to be moving just through the Pittsburgh area. So we are a small part of a larger boundary, so while it is possible, we're not exactly in the bullseye of where that severe weather is expected, but we are going to keep eyes on this heading into our Thursday afternoon, especially for any shifts that will be made in that extended forecast. So Wednesday, best chance of rainfall, really going to be mid to late afternoon, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, very isolated in nature, and Thursday, the potential for some of that inclement weather in far northeast Mississippi. Again, we'll continue to track that out in the extended forecast. Heading into next week, though, we see drier conditions over the weekend as a result of that frontal boundary, but then we have our next disturbance moving in, and that's bringing us scattered showers for Monday and Tuesday. So don't let that rain gear get too far away from you, but definitely do a rain dance so that way you might get lucky with some of those rain chances heading into our Wednesday afternoon and evening. So this wraps it up for Mississippi Live Weather at 10 weekend. Thank you guys so much for participating in our poll. We cannot wait to be there in Baldwin celebrating the Skunk Bowl, or should I say watching the Skunk Bowl. Should be a fantastic game, and I'm so excited to see who prevails. I'm actually going to take a step off screen here real quick because I want to see what phase that moon was in. I want to see if you guys told me. So waxing gibbous, okay? Shout out my mother-in-law. Always knows the phases of the moons. Like I said, my wife's family, they'd have been disappointed if I did not know that. So thank you, Miss Holly. Appreciate that. 20 days till fall. Thank you, Donna. Yes, we are counting down. Honestly, I'm glad I said 28 because 20 made me honestly kick my feet. I'm so excited about that forecast. So just a little something to look forward to. So get out and enjoy that waxing gibbous moon tonight. Should be a clear sky for some of us, but definitely drive safely in that patchy fog tomorrow morning. We're, of course, going to be live tomorrow morning on the Mississippi Live Weather app. You can download that on iOS and Android right here. Scan the QR codes on your screen. If you know of someone who doesn't have it, go ahead and screenshot this. I'll smile. And send that to them so that way they can download it today and get the latest and greatest in weather information. We are so blessed to be a part of your guys' lives and keep you safe in the process. We want to keep you as informed as possible. And so we're just grateful that you allow us the opportunity to do that. We'll be back live tomorrow morning, like I said, with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, 6:30, 7, and 7:30. Latest information you need to know heading out the door, where that fog is taking place, and the latest model runs of where to expect those rain chances into the afternoon. She'll have all the latest details, and we'll be back for the live broadcast at 5, 6, and 10 on your Wednesday evening, tracking out just what to expect with a few of those showers. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great and safe night.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy